Little announcement real quick. As we get back started with the lecture, I know sometimes we got ants in our pants and we need to dance, but please do not go in front of the camera. Because the little queen right there, she will bust you in your head with her hammer. She just told me to tell y'all, if you go in front of the camera, she got a big club. And she will knock you out. Is that right, Queen?
Yes, it is.
That's right. And the Queen mean what she said. And I wouldn't be messing with her if I was you. Black power?
Black power.
Black power. Okay, so we're going to get back into it. We were talking about, and I guess this is a good place to start back over so I can refresh your memory where we was at. We were talking about the concept of hell. We went through and showed you that hell was actually the goddess. That's where they got the name from. Let's see. Let's go. All right, we don't have that because that's going to take too much time. Oh, I'm going too far. Wait a minute. Oh, man, I'm giving y'all my lecture away. Okay, let's start back here. There we go. Okay, so we said that hell, etymologically, and it came from the goddess. Her name is Hel, H-E-L. And so the concept of hell, the hellfire. We talked about the Egyptians and we talked about the lake of fire. And we talked about what that concept means and where it came from. And where this eternal damnation comes from, we talked about that. And so, let's go right back into this. The ideal of eternal hell, torture in hell, arose from the ascetic patriarchal religions like that of the Zoroastrian Persians. Masculine preoccupation with pain stood in contrast to the matriarchy's preoccupation with pleasure, a psychic outgrowth of the severities of the ascetic life. There is reason to believe hell's nastier torments were invented primarily to intimidate women into obeying new patriarchal laws. Zoroastrian priests insisted women who were unfaithful to their husbands would go to hell and have their breasts torn or open with iron combs. Women who scolded their husbands would be forced to lick hot stoves with their tongues. Women who showed disloyalty to men would be hung up by one leg. White scorpions, snakes, ants, and worms dug their way in out of their bodies. But not even the Persians supposed the torments of hell would go on forever. That refinement of cruelty was left to the Christians. The Jews adopted the Persians' hell as a place for punishing the majority of women judged hopelessly unworthy of the Father God's heaven. Men could be consigned to hell for holding too much unnecessary conversation with their wives or taking feminine advice. Okay, so these concepts all come from this particular war, Father God against Mother God, the patriarchy against the matriarchy. We just showed you how the word Satan and how the word devil really means the goddess. So the goddesses of the old matriarchal nature religions, the nature spiritual systems, became the devils of the new patriarchal religion in an effort to get the people to stop worshiping the Great Mother and began to worship the Great Father in an effort to vilify the Great Mother and to control the woman's sexuality. Because in the mother religion, sexuality was of that woman. It was freedom of sexuality. Women did not have to feel ashamed about themselves for having sex. Some women had more than one husband, some didn't. If it was okay for a man to have more than one wife, then goddamn it, it's okay for the woman to have more than one husband. So, these particular that's called polygamy and polyandry, I think. Polyamory, whatever the case. You know what I'm talking about. I make up my own words. And there were particular biceps and bylaws and how these particular relationships worked out. Even in polygamous relationships, it was the woman that did the choosing, not the man.
Right.
Men don't choose women.
That's right. Right.
That's not the way it goes. Right. Women choose men.
That's right.
So I know you brothers want to say, well, you know, this nigga Tahuti talking this damn woman shit. God, and this nigga blowing the spot up. That's why they be mad at me, because I'm blowing the spot up, you know what I mean? But we have to be lovers of truth, and if we are going to evolve and become the kinds of men that God wants us to be, then we're going to have to be lovers of truth.
That's right.
Check?
Check.
So this is not going to make you less than a man. There's nothing faggotry about worshiping the great mother. It might be something faggotry about you worshiping a father.
Come on with it. Bring it on, Chuck.
Homosexuality in the world was almost non-existent in the mother religions.
Right.
It was during the advent of the father religions that homosexuality came into existence.
Right.
Break it down.
Right.
Okay? Because men did get jealous of women's giving birth to children. Women are magical creatures. Men are powerful. We fight lions and tigers and bears.
Yes.
Yeah. Warriors. Spear. And we go out and we hunt. And we're powerful.
Yeah.
But the women were magical. We looked at them for guidance. They were our prophets. They were the oracles. You've seen the movie, The Matrix. In The Matrix, they went to the oracle. Who was the oracle?
Wow.
It was a black woman, right?
Yeah.
Because during the time of the Roman Inquisition, the last great matriarchy on the planet was in Rome. There were African women called the Sibyls.
That's right.
Now, you'll read in the Greek, they try to make you believe that these were Europeans. These were African women, and they were hated.
That's their word.
They were hated for their magic. And they went over there and they enslaved the women and used them for their prophecies. And in order to give their religion some legitimacy, they stole the prophecies from the women, called the sublime oracles or the sublime prophecies. And over time, they became perverted. And this is part of the basis of your Old Testament, where they got it. But if you read the Old Testament carefully, Kings, Chronicles, Job, you'll see that there's an ancient war going on. It's the war between the followers of the goddess Ashra and the followers of the god Yahweh.
Yep.
But there was really never no war between Ashra and Yahweh because they were husband and wife. So we don't look at that concept because we have been Europeanized. We've been anglicized in our thinking, and so we can't understand the concept of a God that has a wife. Or we can't understand the concept where the oldest ancestor was that of a woman. And not only was the oldest ancestress a woman, she was black. And she was also God. So the brothers say, when you say Tahuti, what do you mean by the woman is God? That's a masculine thing. Not if you understand the etymology of the word. The word God was very feminine. Comes from the African word kut, K-H-U-T. And when you break it down and you go through the Greeks all the way up to the Germanic, you'll see how it became the word got, the word gutan, the Greek word kut, K-H-U-T-E, which was a borrowed word from ancient Egypt. The 10th, it came out of Lower Egypt, the 10th nome in a place called Athribis. And the word kut, K-H-U-T, which has the trilateral root of H-U-T, hut, like nut. You understand what I'm saying to you? And who? These are African words, and they all are of the goddess. And the word kut is the goddess Aset, at a particular time of the year because she was known as the star Sirius, or she was associated with the Sirius star system. And her name is Kut. And so from the word Kut developed all the way up into today's language where we get the word God. And even before, in the dramatic language, the word was, it had the meaning of both male and female. You see? But we can trace these words back to their root of origin. Even in all of the names of God trace back to the feminine. Now, I know brothers are going to attack me on this, but if we go into the name Jehovah, we go to the name Allah, we can go into the name, all of these different names trace back to a feminine origin. In the Hebrew, there is a rule that any name that ends with the OAH or AH is a feminine name. Jehovah, Noah, those are all feminine names. Arabic is the first cousin of Hebrew. Arabic and Hebrew is so closely connected. If you take the Hebrew name Jehovah, put the letters together and turn it upside down, it will be the Arabic name Allah. Right? And the same rule applies in Islam. Any name that ends with a tar mabuta, which is a little loop and these two dots, it makes the word feminine. So the word Allah in the English vernacular ends with the AH. In the Arabic, it ends with what is called a tar mabuta, making the name feminine. Although the Arabic scholars tell you that Allah has no gender, but they use the vernacular He, because they say He is the highest form of expression for the Creator. So we use He. You understand what I'm saying to you? So, what they don't explain to you is that Alat, the goddess Alat, was prominent in Mecca before Allah.
That's right.
For thousands of years, the Kushites, who were the Arabians, they were the original Arabs. They came from Ethiopia. They came by way of Yemen. They came over the Red Sea. And they brought with them the worship of the Great Mother, because they had been worshiping the Great Mother from the very beginning of time. And they brought that concept with them. And the Kaaba was known as the belly button of the goddess Alat. Even in the Quran, it tells you that they were worshiping females. I can't think of the surah. I think it's Surah 4. It said they were worshiping females. And it says about Lat, talks about Lat and Mim, and I can't think of it all at the moment right now. I did this in another lecture. So let's move right along. So all of the names of God we can trace back to the feminine origin, and let's move right along. Now, concept of hell. So now, what we have to do is let's break down and understand where they got the little red man from. The little red man with the horns. This is where the little red man with the horns comes from. Now, the blonde hair is modern innovation, because the Hindus over there have been anglicized, and most of the gods and goddesses have been anglicized. But you're looking at the goddess Sati, 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 Satan, Satan, Sati, Sati. This is the goddess Sati. And so now we can look and see she's got these horns and these fangs and this skull on top of her head. Looks evil. Ooh. You see? But it had nothing to do with anything that was evil. She is a protector. This is one of the forms of the goddess Kali. So now, let's look at the devil. Look at him. That nigga mad as hell. So I just broke the myth I just showed you. We just broke the spell right here. This is so important because now you're starting to understand where these concepts come from. And so now we can stop having nightmares about the devil. Because the devil is none other than the goddess, the great mother Sati. That is Satan. Satan meets Sati. Sati meets Satan. And we know that the pitchfork is what? That's the trident of the goddess who? Kali. So now you see where they got it from. So now we just broke the spell. Shouldn't have any more nightmares about this. Okay? Give it up. That's powerful, man. That's real powerful, man. I put a lot of work into this here thing. It's a lot of researching, and I love doing it. And that's why I do it, you know, because I want to see the oohs and the ahs on your faces when you do this, and you're like, damn, all these years, this sucker right here been controlling my life. You know why the devil was so important? Because if there is a God, and help me out again, God is good?
All the time.
And if all the time God is good, how does God allow evil to exist on the planet? Couldn't he have not made the devil? Didn't he have foreknowledge that he would forsake him?
That's right.
I mean, God is good all the time.
That's right.
And all powerful and all knowing. So why would he do this? So the religionists tell us, well, you don't question God. Who the hell are you? God gave you life. And so you never question. Because you be scared to death. Because you know if you question God, where you going, right? Going to hell. Going to the hellfire. But we just broke the myth. We see that hell is the goddess hell. See? And we see that they took a misunderstanding of the Egyptian concept of the lake of fire, which really has to do with the burning of Kama, which really has to do with the positioning of how you will reincarnate on this planet. Because each and every one of you have been reincarnated to this plane. You're sitting here, you don't have to wait for the ancestors to come back. You are the ancestors. That's why you're sitting in this room right now. And we're having this meeting of the minds so that we can remember. So we can remember. Bring all the members, the gods and goddesses. That's who you are. And so you can understand and begin to awaken to what your purpose and your cosmic signature is. Each one of us has a cosmic signature. Your cosmic signature is the contract you signed. What you was coming to this plane to do. You came here for a reason. You came here to do a job. And that's why you're sitting here. The only reason we are here in this particular realm of existence right now is to break white supremacy. Is to tear it down. We must dismantle white supremacy in all of its forms. And so we have different, well, there are more than one way to skin a cat. So Natural Tahuti is not telling you to kill the white man. If you want to break down white supremacy, love your black self. Because the white man says, don't love yourself, nigga. Hate your damn self, nigga. Go twist up your hair, nigga. Mess it all up. Perm it up. Do whatever you want to do. Don't like yourself. And I don't want you niggas getting in no congregations. This is what the white man tells you to do. So he has the power of what? Suggestion. And he only suggests what you do is tell live vision. Yeah, he has used forms of violence. He has. And he still has these big weapons and all of that. And at some point, it probably will be some fighting. I don't know. I don't know when it's going to take place. Don't even look at me for the damn answer. Because I don't know all the damn answers. And I don't think these niggas coming up here telling you know all the damn answers. Because they can tell you dead tomorrow, go kill the cracker. But I want you to think about something. You're going to need some guns. So where you get your guns from?
Cracker.
Oh. Cracker? Oh. Alright, let's go get some guns, y'all. But wait for, oh shit. We need money. Alright, where you gonna get your money from?
That cracker.
God damn it, we gotta go to the bank. It means we're gonna have to take out a major loan. Y'all niggas got credit? I ain't got shit. I ain't got no credit. Messed up mine years ago. They tricked me into this bag of going to school and messed up all my credit. I can't even pay that shit back from the hood. So now we gotta go to the bank and take out a loan. All right, we take a loan out, we go take the money, we go buy the guns. Now we all supplied, we got guns. Everybody in here got guns. Let's go kill a cracker. Uh-oh, we ran out of bullets. So now where are we going to get some bullets from? Well, we gotta go right back to the cracker and go get some damn bullets. So how far will our revolution be? How successful will we be in that endeavor? And I'm not making light of the revolution. I'm not. I'm just making you think about something. You need guns, you need bullets, but you're gonna also need some healing. Because the same damn niggas that go out and kill the cracker gonna turn around and kill your ass.
Right.
Because now they gonna be the same niggas that's gonna be wanting to run shit.
That's right.
They wanna run shit now. Trying to tell you how to live your goddamn life and don't even live theirs right.
All right.
Huh? Come on. So all this big black power, preach this, preach that, and they got so much damn dirt in their closet, it's a shame.
That's right.
Then they get on these stages, they got arrogance, they got a little knowledge, they get a little money, and they better than you. So these are the niggas we gonna get to help us obtain our freedom. You don't need no damn leaders. You need yourselves. If you start loving yourself and you start coming together and stop looking for the big U and the little I. And we come together as a family. That's what Mother God is about. It's not about big I's and little U's. It's about that we come together as a family. You know, me and my brother, we have disagreements. He'll say some shit to me, I'll say some shit back to him. Like, nigga, who is you? Oh, nigga, who you? And then it's over. We pull each other up, because we can take pull-ups. I can pull my brother up. And I have to let him know, you're not too big that I can't pull you up, nigga. I can pull you up. And you can pull me up on my behavior. Because we are examples to the people. So we have to be doing things so that when the people, because I can't walk down the street no more, and people don't, everywhere I go, people say, oh, yo, that's Tahuti. It's too late. I can't hide now. Damn. I mean, like, damn. Can't hide. So I know that my life now is a sacrifice. That I gotta walk upright. I gotta walk perpendicular. Because the people gonna see me. So if they see me out here doing something, they're gonna say, I told you that damn natural Tahuti. That nigga's a fraud. I told you. But I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. And so I just try to keep it as real as possible. And I try to do the very best that I can as a human being. And I'm trying to deliver a message to you to be the best human being that you can. We might not all get, like Martin Luther King said, we might not all make it to that mountain, right? We might not all make it there. But if you can become a better human being in your life, if you can, as a man, treat your woman like a queen, like a goddess, you have done something to strike a blow at white supremacy.
All right.
I'm with it.
Good.
So, and that's my message to you. My message to you is just try to become a better human being. Don't try to be something that you ain't. You ain't got to put on no goddamn military suit if that ain't what you do. If you're not built for that shit, don't do it. Because you're just going to cause yourself more pain. You're going to cause yourself more heartaches. But if you could be a better human being, if you can deliver a message to some children, to some people in your neighborhood, to your wife, to your children, to your mothers, to your fathers, then you have fought in the revolution. Do not let nobody tell you haven't. Because revolution, all it means a turnaround that happens in a very small period of time.
Work with me.
You turn around and you stop. You look at your behaviors and you start walking upright. You are gods and goddesses. You want to strike a blow at white supremacy? Be a god and a goddess. Clean up your neighborhoods. Right? Start sweeping the sidewalks in your neighborhood and watch how white folks get scared. If you clean your damn neighborhood, the white people gonna get scared. They gonna say, them niggas clean up the neighborhood. What the fuck? What's going on? Excuse my language. They gonna say, what's going on? Because that ain't what niggas are supposed to do. Niggas supposed to tear their neighborhoods down. You understand me? If you start working on your alcohol problem, the white man gonna get scared. If you start working on your drug habit, the white man gonna get scared. He gonna get scared. You mean to tell me this nigga ain't buying our liquor no more? You mean to tell me this nigga ain't buying our drugs no more? You mean to tell me this nigga ain't beating up his woman no more? You mean to tell me women, you are not putting your men in jail no more? Huh? So they're gonna get very scared and they're gonna have to try some new tactics because the old stuff ain't working no more. Let's get back to the lecture. So we broke another fear. That's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to break these mental images. This is sigil magic. It's magic. It's called sigil magic. Sigil magic has the power of suggestion. It suggests things to your mind. And so your enemy gets inside of your mind and suggests, he whispers like the jinn. Psst. He pisses in your ear. And he suggests things for you to do, but you do the most damage to your own self. Follow me? Check. Let's move right along. Okay, because I don't want to hold you up. Okay, now we come to the part where we got to deal with the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, because we also talked about the coming of the white man. Okay, this lecture, I couldn't put everything in there about Europeans that I wanted to do, so we're going to do a part 2 to this lecture. I'm going to come back, and we're going to break down some science, we're going to get into all of that. So today, I'm only going to break down the mythological origins. So the white man is the devil. We thank Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad for that, because that was the man who made it a popular thing. But what did he mean by that? Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, when I debated Wesley Muhammad, I showed and proved that he was a Shriner, a Mason. I showed and proved that the Nation of Islam, most of the Nation of Islam was set up like a Shriner Lodge. That they named their temples, Allah Temple number 1, Allah Temple number 2, the same way the Shriners do. Go look at a Shriner temple, it says Allah Temple number 1, Allah Temple number 2. Their lessons are set up the same way that the Masonic lessons are. Questions and answers. They're called catechists. If I pronounce the word right.
That's right.
The catechists. And they got one lesson that say, why do we run Yaku and his man-made devil from the root of civilization over the hot Arabian desert into the caves of West Asia they now call Europe? What is the meaning of EU and ROPE? How long ago? What did the devil bring with him? And what kind of life did the devil live in? And how long before Musa came to teach the devil of his forgotten trick knowledge? And that lesson, running them over the devil, the Masons have a lesson says, when you cross the hot burning sands of the devil, of the desert, you have to meet at the devil's post and drop a few drops of urine. That lesson, running the devil over the hot Arabian desert, and the lesson of the Shriner, where you got to cross the hot burning sands, is synonymous. Let's look into the mind of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. The white man is the devil. Huh. Right? Here we go. So, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us there was a man by the name of Yaku who was a big head scientist. Right? This is what he taught us. I got this imagery from Dr. York. That is from the artistic mind of Dr. York. It's not mine, it's his. And I'll give credit to where credit is due. Whether he looked like that or not, Elijah told us he had a big ass damn head. So I think Dr. York did a hell of a job. He said that Yaku had 8 ounces of brain. Right? I think he said he also had 2 brains. Look, one here and one here. Something like that. But we all got two brains. We got like three brains, really. You got the right hemisphere, the left hemisphere, and then you have the R complex.
That's right.
So it's actually three brains because each side is concerned with doing something totally different. So, Yaku. In the lessons of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the 120 lessons, in the 1 to 40, it says, how old was the founder? When Yaku was 6 years old while playing with two pieces of steel, he discovered one piece had magnetic in it and the other piece did not. Then he learned that the piece with the magnetic attracted the piece that did not have magnetic in it. Then he told his people that when he was old enough, he would make a nation that would be unlike, and he would teach them technology, and they would rule for 6,000 years. Right? He said they were playing with two pieces of steel. So what I did was, I looked all over and I tried to study to find the existence of this man named Yaku. And I really didn't find much evidence. He said that Yaku, that the devil was manufactured in a place called, to manufacture this white man called the devil. He said that in a black man's body there exist two germs, a black germ and a brown germ. Yaku with his long birth control separated the black germ from the brown germ by destroying the black germ. After following this process for 600 years, the germ became weak and wicked and was no longer the same. This came out of the mouth of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. What does the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad mean? So he also told us that 8,400 years before Yaku was born, he was born with a determined ideal to make a people that would be unalike, and they would rule his people for 6,000 years. He said that Yaku was born in the year 8,400 in the Asiatic calendar. Okay? So, I really had to look into this because when I started studying about the matriarchy and the patriarchy, during the Stone Age and the Bronze Age, when they started playing with metals. In the Bronze Age, the goddesses, the women would make little religious statues, and they did have some kinds of weapons, but bronze is not a very hard metal. You understand what I'm saying? Iron. But when the Iron Age came in to the development of steel, Now, when the nation of gods and earth, or the nation of Islam, they will tell you that the two pieces of steel that Yaku was playing with was the black man and the black woman. He said one had magnetic and the other did not. So a lot of times they tell you it was the black man, he had magnetic in him. You see, this is what they tell you. But when we really listen closely to the story, it's like all religions. All religions are allegorical.
Right.
All religions have esoteric meanings. Esoteric means that it is hidden from the normal view. They have an exoteric meaning. The exoteric meaning is meant for the outside. And the esoteric is only meant for the chosen few who have been initiated into the higher orders.
All right,
Now, esoteric can also mean that you've got this from a spiritual plane, a hidden plane. So I started thinking about Yaku playing with two pieces of steel. But the story sounds a little ambiguous to me. Some big head man who had 8 ounces of brain. Because when I did the science and looked at brains weigh more than 8 ounces. 2 pieces of steel. So we had to start looking at when did all of this war and mischief start coming on the planet. Because during the peaceful ages, the golden age was the ages of the great mother. There were no wars on the planet. And people lived in peace because they were into magic, astrology, astronomy, alchemists, you know the word I'm looking for. Alchemy. They were into those things. They wasn't people talking about one group of people better than the other group of people. They were seeking to look at the stars and all of these other things. As patriarchy comes in during the Iron Age, which is the steel, weapons of war, patriarchy was able to overthrow the great mother because of the weapons of war. Because steel is very hard. And so now, with a horse and a chariot and a piece of steel, I can subdue your whole nation. I can take it over. Now, I did not learn that from the Nation of Islam. I did not learn that from the Nation of Gods and Earth. This is totally my hypothesis. Okay? You can accept it or you can reject it. Okay? So, but to me, it is a good damn understanding. Let's move right along. Okay. Oh shit, let's go back. Okay. The divine feminine is the feminine principle that was predominantly worshipped among societies prior to Christian biblical times, whose origins can be traced back 22,000 BCE. This generally refers to the worship of a supreme force of life and creation embodied in some form of feminine depiction, whether a womb, a cave, or a goddess. Scholars such as Anne Baring believe that when humans gained the capacity to create technology, when Yaku was playing with two pieces of steel, technology, and asserted power over their environment, an accompanying shift occurred in human consciousness that had previously emphasized the harmony and value of nature. In other words, the divine feminine in the form of the mother goddess of nature no longer functioned as a supreme figure as new values emerged relating to human creation. People became divided from nature, which was now viewed as a separate element and could be acted upon and dominated. And this, my friends, had occurred during the Iron Age, because prior to that, people were okay, yeah, that's the best I can get it. Okay, people were worshiping the God, the Great Mother, and they would use images like the womb, caves, and other images to show their reverence to the Great Mother. Not that they worship these particular statues, but these statues again are totems, and they give ideological ideals, they give psychic reading, because images. See, the ancients understood how your brain worked. Your brain does not record these words. They record pictures. They record pictures. And so this is why the ancient system of learning was the metal netter, pictographs. Because the picture communicates to you on a psychic level. You can look at a picture one day and it says one thing to you, and then when you come back it says a whole nother thing. It all depends upon the particular education that you have, particular investigation you put into a thing. So the more you start investigating the pictures and the pictographs, the more they begin to illustrate these divine concepts to you. So our ancestors used sigil magic to encourage people to do spiritual things, as opposed to the sigil magic that you might see in a poster today, where you'll see Johnny Walker Red being sold. You'll see a woman with a split and a skirt and the bottle right here, suggesting that, hey, if I go buy some Johnny Walker Red, I might get that beautiful woman with the split, with the skirt, and that thing she got up in there. You understand? That's sigil magic. It's suggestive. It suggests to the mind, and the more you start looking at the images, the more you are bombarded with the images, the more you are tempted to go get you a bottle of Johnny Walker Red. Because if you get you a bottle of Johnny Walker Red, you're going to get that beautiful girl in the bed. That's the suggestion.
That's right.
So our images suggest that we be spiritual, that we treat the feminine with the highest of reverence. You understand? Check?
Check.
Move right along. Since the supreme divine had previously been associated with fertility, the wholeness of nature and creation, the representation of the goddess began to evolve and eventually came to represent nature, matter, darkness, chaos, and evil. The male god began to be associated with spirit, light, creativity, and good. See, they flipped the script. Beginning in the Iron Age, while Yaku was playing with two pieces of steel, he discovered that one piece had magnetic, the other piece did not. Beginning in the Iron Age, the male gods began to dominate with the development of patriarchal religion. However, goddesses were still worshipped in the West as late as the Greek and Roman eras, evolved from their natural origins to represent wisdom, truth, compassion, and justice. Conversely, in the traditions of the three major religions to develop in the Western world, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, there has been what is referred to as a loss of the divine feminine. This phenomenon is exemplified by a lack of union between gods and goddesses, or equally dominant feminine dimensions to provide a balance to the masculine. So the feminine is not put up here to be above men. No, it's there to balance man.
Balance.
Balance.
That's why the woman's image is there, not to dominate you men. You brothers are powerful and the women need you.
That's right. All day long.
She needs you. But she don't want you to control and rule over her and subjugate her.
That's right.
You're going to get a lot farther by cooperation.
All right now.
Be cooperative.
There you go.
You understand?
Work with it.
You don't need to dominate her or anything. Just seek to be in tune with her.
Come on.
You understand? And so the goddess Mayat is balance.
Come on.
That's why the goddess is placed above, because men are powerful, we have testosterone, and we can dominate shit. We can beat the hell out of a bear, kick the hell out of a lion, and I ain't gonna say the other word, but we'll uck up a dog. We'll uck him up. We'll uck him up. And you know that. And we're powerful. You understand? So the goddess balances us. Because when you come in from a hard day at work, what do your woman does? Come here, honey. Come here, baby. You need a massage? Are you hungry, baby? Come here. I got this bad boy ready for you.
Come on, Rick.
She's so sweet. Oh, my God. God dang. How could you forsake the great mother? You understand me?
That's right.
So, this is why the feminine principle is so much needed, and especially in our organizations. If we got organizations, yo, you ain't going no damn way if you don't get no women in it. There's gonna be a bunch of niggas in there with some hard penises and balls. Black power! Black power! Black power! And ain't no damn women's in there. Bunch of homos. I ain't taking no shots. I'm just telling you the truth. They get you some damn women in there. Because women take care of business. Even the goddamn pimp got enough sense to understand that the woman is the GPN.
Come on.
Gross national product.
That's it.
I'm not highlighting and glorifying a pimp, but even a damn degenerate thinking of a pimp knows that the woman is important. He knows that the woman can get in places that you can't. He knows that the woman can get more money by accident than your dumb ass can get on purpose.
There you go.
So, you need to take the lessons and get with it, man. Start playing chess. Understand who the queen is. Now, women, don't take this science and abuse your man. Because as we come into this new matriarchal religion, it's going to be some lunacy. And the women are going to be, nigga, I'm God and you better do what I tell you to do and blah, 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 blah. That's going to happen. That's going to happen. You know you women going to do that shit. Y'all know y'all going to do it. Because you're doing it now. Before she was conscious, she was all of this slut, butt, blah, blah, blah. Now, she got conscious. Oh, I'm the goddess. She started running shit. And you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying. So don't take this and abuse your power. You are to become a set. And you are supposed to help resurrect a fallen man.
Come on, Rick.
Come on. Give it up. Give it up.
Give it up.
Your man is broken. He has been broken by white supremacy. He has been robbed of his name, robbed of his language, robbed of his spirituality, robbed of his manhood. And the only one that could put him back together is you. Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall, but Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's men and all the king's horses couldn't put Humpty Dumpty's ass back together again. But the black woman, she can put you back together in a minute. In one goddamn minute. Okay, let's move right along. I be getting carried away.
No, you're not.
You call up his own.
No.
Check.
Okay. So now, okay, we said, okay, we passed this yet. Okay, this brother right here, his name is Omar Fatir. I do not want to take credit for the work that this man did. But when I read the work that he did, I loved it, and I said, I have to use this for the lecture. I've been knowing about it for some time because I agree with him. But he was able to do the work, and this brother's been in prison. Let me give you a brief synopsis or biopsy of the brother. Amir Fatir. Amir Fatir, Sterling Hobbs. You ever heard that name, Sterling Hobbs? He wrote that book called The Black Angels. Was a journalist and Nation of Islam minister when he was arrested in 1975 for a murder that someone else committed. While on death row, he studied all the ancient spiritual systems to learn where he'd be after his execution. Amir found a common thread run through Islam, yoga, Judaism, Christianity, Taoism, magic, and modern science and Egyptian metaphysics. In 1991, Amir received a pardon recommendation that because of politics was illegally revoked. He hasn't been physically free since the Ford administration. While in prison, he has authored books, developed award-winning programs, and healed people and animals of serious diseases. Amir is an astrologer whose writings connect and reveal the symbolic wisdom in esoteric systems, New Age philosophies, and modern science. He can't sing, but still hopes to one day perform with the Temptations. So, he wrote a little book called Mr. Yaku and the Making of the Devil. And I thought this was perfect for this lecture. Okay. Y'all know what this is, right? Right, Tree of Life. So, the following is from a letter Amir wrote to a correspondent who requested his views on Yaku and the Making of the Devil. Amir has written a small book entitled The Symbolic History of Mr. Yaku that he hopes to make available if he ever succeeds in retrieving it from a publisher. I believe the history of Mr. Yaku to be wholly spiritually and symbolic, using physical white people to represent mental functions and states of mind. This is not unprecedented. The ancient Egyptian kings were often depicted smiting foreign barbarians, who were symbols of the wild passions in the Egyptian people, not actual physical conquests. The Egyptian king battles were often against the Asiatics. They symbolized people stuck on the Asia plane. This is the Asia plane right here. Asia represents the physical operating of the objective plane. Let me get through this real quick. The honorable, the Asia plane of developments, i.e. savages. The lower appetites were the actual Asiatics. Master Farad and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad used the same approach. Farad called white people cavemen and cavey. It refers to underground subconscious influences that operate in the dark, ignorance. Yaku represents the left hemisphere of the brain and its related mental activities. He had an 8-ounce brain because the left brain corresponds to the 8 spheres of the Tree of Life. Okay? So I thought this was profound information because it actually gives us an understanding of this mythological concept of a devil. In the religious terms, the white man is the devil. In the religious sense of the word. However, we just went through the mythological origin, and I showed you the theological, the historical, and the mythological origin of the devil. So we know that shit is not even real.
Come on.
We know that's the war that was perpetrated against the Great Mother. So in the religious sense of the term, according to the definition of being diabolical, the white man is accused of being diabolical on the planet. Yes, in the religious sense of the term, but in the scientific sense of the term, he is a creature of this planet.
Come on.
Just like an insect, just like a roach, just like a cow, a dog. I mean, the lion will take your ass up in the jungle and see if the lion give a damn if you're black, white, or candy stripe. He'll eat your ass alive. So is the lion the devil too? No. So we have to understand these concepts. Now this is totally my understanding. And I don't force my understanding on you. You can have the understanding that you want. If the white man is the devil for you and that works for you, fine. Me particularly, I have evolved to another degree in my life, and I understand that the white man is not the devil. The white man is a war criminal.
Criminal.
Yes, he's a war criminal, and you are the way you behave. If you behave like a goddamn animal, then you're an animal. Because you're on this plane, the Asiya plane, representing the physical operation of the objective plane. Like our ancient ancestors had the concept of Set and Heru. The battle of Set and Heru was never won through war. They never won through war. Every time Heru had a fight with Set, it always wounded up in a stalemate. The way it was won was in a court of law. They had to take Set as the court before the gods and goddesses, and Heru won the battle through court, and so Set had to become one with Heru. And that's when you see that image, where you see the head of Set and the head of Heru together in one body. Because we're talking about your lower nature, your ego. Ignorance of one's divine self is the devil. Ignorance of who you are is the devil. What are you? Are you this physical body? That nigga dissed me. This physical body. Or are you this divine light inside of the body, operating the body? Are you this dot of light, this small dot of light inside of the body, operating the body, animating the body? Or are you the body? Well, if you continuously believe that you are the body, then you continuously suffer what the body goes through. But when you become soul consciousness, you understand that you're having difficulty remembering who you are. And so we use scientific methods to remember who we are, like chanting, prayer, and meditation. We use these scientific concepts to begin to understand the knowledge of who we are. And so we know when we are not being in soul consciousness, we are activating the lower consciousness, and anybody, whether you're black, white, or candy stripe, you're spotted or goddamn dotted, you can do evil. Why do Europeans have the propensity to be more evil than black folks?
All right now.
Why?
Thank you.
Let's move on. Okay. Yakub was a big head scientist, meaning he symbolized extreme left brain arrogance, vanity, and unrelenting pride. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught that the black man has 7.5 ounces of brain, while the white man has a 6-ounce brain. Well, put similarly sized similarity. Size, people's brains on a scale, and you will see that the brain pretty much weighs the same. Brain usually weighs somewhere about 46 to 47 ounces. Men and women brains can differ. Sometimes, generally, a woman's brain is bigger than a man's, but because of the debilitating effects of menstruation, because women are not living a natural diet, and they're losing iodine during their period. The iodine, which is essential for the brain, can cause the brain to shrink up, therefore causing women to degenerate in a faster pace than men. And so therefore, that's why it seems like sometimes women may be a little slower than men, but women are far more faster than men because they mature a lot faster. Women have these 2 XX chromosomes. They're very big. To the man's Y chromosome, very small, lacks regions. The woman has 1,495 genes to a man's 72 genes. She has more genetic information in her genes than we do, and it's quite natural. Don't get mad. It's only natural that she is a more sovereign being, that she's a more complex being. Her nature is created in a more complexity than ours because she has a greater job than we do.
Right now.
She is responsible for the giving of life, the miracle of the present. The miracle of life takes place in her womb. Therefore, her job is more than ours. You look at her as weak because your job ain't making babies. Your job is fighting lions. Her job is making babies. She is constitutionally stronger than you are. You may be brutally, physically stronger than her in a brutal sense because her system is complex and is delicate. It has to be. It has to be a loving and nurturing and soft, moist environment inside. That's why when you go up in the womb, it's moist and wet and nice for you.
Come on.
Woo! Huh? Talk to me, people. So, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught that the black man has 7.5 ounces of brain while the white man has 6 ounces of brain. Well, okay, we got past that. 7.5 breaths per minute introduces trance. Didn't I say that all African religions are based upon trance? 7.5 breaths per minute induce trance. The alpha brainwave trance pattern is thus symbolized as the size of the black man's brain. Black man symbolizes the deep trance state. Now, the alleged making of the devil, it refers to the ego supplanting the former rule or predominance of the right brain hemisphere. The individual I and the sense of separateness is a grafted add-on to the original human consciousness. This puny little ego created by Meyer, meaning illusion, separateness, and tricknology, i.e. Yaku, is the real devil, the enemy, the adversary, and is symbolized by the white man, the inner me. So in nature generally produces what the consciousness of the people on the planet is. So in actuality, the white man comes from the ego of black folks. They do come from us. We created them. They come from us. They naturally from us. You understand what I'm saying? And so we were here on the planet for thousands of years. And for those thousands of years, you know, like I said, we had a golden time. And then during the Iron Age, it wasn't so much golden anymore because we started being competitive with one another. We started thinking one group of Africans were better than the other group of Africans. There was no African unity. How do you think the white man came in there and kicked our ass? If there was African unity, he wouldn't have been able to kick our ass like that. Moving right along. Okay, I want to get you out of here, and I know y'all been sitting down. Oh, that was supposed to be in there, huh? Okay, supposed to have been put that there, I forgot. So the brains are basically white man, black man, basically kind of the same. All human beings, what's the difference between white folks and black folks? People say a bunch of shit. White folks, everybody on the planet are 98% genetically the same, with variations. There are variations. Thermodynamics. The second degree of thermodynamics, the second definition of thermodynamics says that things will atrophy, that things will degenerate. So being on this planet, we've been on this planet for thousands of years. There have been wars on the planet, and then we are bombarded with the harsh environment. We are bombarded with the UV rays of the sun. People degenerate. Like we're degenerating right now. Ain't none of us gonna get out of this shit alive.
That's right, none.
You're dying right now.
That's right.
You're aging right now.
That's right.
And so, as a result of poor eating, as a result of poor thinking, we degenerated, and the white man comes out of the loins of the African in a degenerated state. So he is a child of our own degeneration. Now, you don't have to accept that concept, okay? That's my hypothesis. None of us rightly know what nigga was there. Tell him to come up here. Tell the scholar to bring his ass up here that was there when it all took place. So none of us know. We're playing with these concepts like they do in college. You know what happens in college? Now, I ain't never been to college. But you know what they do in college? They study other scholars' work, and they all agree upon the shit. All of the scholars agree. Okay, other people say. That's why they call me the bad boy of consciousness, because I think outside the box.
That's right.
I follow my own beat. And I'm not afraid to express to you what I think. And you can take it from there. If I give you something good, then run with it. If it's something that's not for you, okay, maybe not now, maybe later, maybe never. But the fact of the matter is that I had enough strength to give it to you. Okay?
That's right.
Moving right along. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, try to round it up. Yaku is the modern version of the trickster gods. Is the modern version of the trickster gods that have been depicted throughout the world as the coyote, Satan, Sebek, Hanuman, Mascalito. Say that again? Yeah, that. I'll make my own shit up. I ain't been to college. They are usually stylized as canines. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad emphasized how the white man befriended the dog while in the caves of Europe. This is all symbolic wisdom, and the great teachers were not allowed to tell anyone that it was symbolic. To do so would destroy the cleansing effect the teachings were to have on whites and blacks alike. I only depicted the symbols now because it is time to bring in the new Islam. Those teachings, minus the correct interpretation, can no longer produce highly evolved men the way they once did in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. That's why if you look at the Nation of Islam now, it don't produce the same shit. It produced me. It did produce me, and I have reverence. I came out the nation of gods and earths. It's a 5%er. The black man is God. They don't like me today because I say the black woman is God. See? Come on. Unfortunately, they now sometimes become words people use to shield their own dirty religion under the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's good name. The real purpose of Farad Muhammad was to provide spiritual scientific framework for you and me to become gods and goddesses. It is not enough to praise the messengers and Savior. You and me must become God in person. You have to be able to truthfully say, my name is W.F. Muhammad. I came to North America by myself, my soul. You see, so the devil, again, in the mythological sense, was necessary because if God is good, then how could God be good and there be evil that exists in the world? So they had to create a scapegoat. the scapegoat had to take the dirty, the thing that God would take, which was the blame for evil exists in the world. So now God gets a chance to save face. God can save face now because we got the devil, equally powerful God, who takes the blame for evil existing in the world. So the devil becomes the scapegoat. So now you don't have to take personal responsibility for the things that you do, because you can easily go to church and say, the devil made me do it. And you can do the same goddamn thing today for not getting up black economics, black unity, treating your black women, because you can easily say the white man got us all messed up. The white man is the devil. That's my understanding.
Come on, Rick.
So, I'm not letting up off him. He's a damn war criminal.
That's what he is.
And he must,
Be charged.
thank you. That. Okay, so, this is the battle of Set and Heru. It's a spiritual and mental battle. Okay, Hanu, this is the monkey god from the Hindus, and the coyote that we used. These would be Yakus. This would be the concept of the devil, but not in the same mythological sense as how the devil has become represented in the patriarchal religions of today. Moving right along, we have the Sphinx. Man, what is this damn nigga name? This is Shiva. This is Shiva. And right here under him is so-called demon. This demon is the lower nature. This is your ego. Make you understand what this is. This is your ego. And in order for you to become a god or goddess, you have to supplant the ego. Right? Yaku, the supplanter. You have to subdue the ego. For men, you have to subdue the masculine energy, because when masculine energy is not balanced with feminine energy, it lords over everything. It seeks to control instead of seeking to be in tune. This is why the feminine energy must be here. That's what creates the balance. It's not about her being above you. It's not about that. That's not what I'm saying. So many people misunderstand what I'm saying. These are spiritual concepts. These are spiritual precepts that we must understand if we are truly going to resurrect African spirituality. So, we got the Sphinx, who I say is a woman. They say it's a man. So fine with me. Cool. Animal body, the head of a god. Meaning that your lower nature is animalistic on the Asiya plane. Your higher nature is Kundalini, the goddess, the Shakti, the serpentine fire. Earth, Wind, and Fire made a song many years ago. How many people know Earth, Wind, and Fire? Raise your hand. I'm gonna tell my story, holy glory, all about the serpentine fire. You will never understand the laws of the serpentine fire. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Who wants my record deal? Stop playing, y'all niggas is haters. You know I can say, y'all playing games, man. So the serpentine fire at the base of the spine, we call that in Christianity the Holy Ghost, or Christ consciousness. In Islam, it is called coming to Salat. People say Salat means prayer. It means raise the fire. That's why you're doing Salat. Salat is a practice to raise the Kundalini from the base of the spine. Understand where these practices came from. They came from our ancient ancestors. Africa.
Right.
You understand? So let's move right along. Try to get y'all up out of here. We are constantly making the devil whenever we feed and nourish our lower selves and animal appetites. When we allow our egos to rule, instead of bringing our egos into submission to the indwelling divinity, Master Farad, Osiris, Shiva, Abba Ta'ala, etc., we are grafting a devil. Physical white people are not any more or less evil than physical black people. Any person of any skin color can become devilish by the thoughts, emotions, and feelings and actions they indulge. Any person of any color can become a true and living God by their thoughts, emotions, and feelings and actions, and they indulge. See, we concentrate on a white man, and I can understand why, because he's in rulership. Shit, if you was in rulership, you'd be doing some shit too. And Africans did do some shit. They controlled people. They've done evil things. What was the need for the 42 negative professions? If they were all good, if they were all righteous all the goddamn time, what was the need for the 42 negative confessions? The 42 negative confessions comes out of our experience of doing things that was negative. Now, it may have not been on the grand scale that the European did, because there are different circumstances. We come from a synthetical relationship with the landmass. We live by water. So we had water running. We had lots of vegetation. And so our economics is what caused us the luxury to be able to develop these high spiritual concepts. The white man living in a cave, cut off from civilization, bottled up in the mountains for thousands of years. No high culture, no vegetation. Vegetation is important to alkaline the blood. Alkaline the blood to create oxygen in the brain for higher thinking. So they became diseased in their thinking. Their pineal glands became calcified. Lack of vegetation. The lack of vegetation is the lack of alkaline and oxygen to the brain. Therefore, they are prone to do things from the lower nature, making them devilish. Can I get some more water? I'm almost done, y'all. I'm almost done.
You all right?
Huh. Okay, y'all all right?
Yeah, we all right.
Okay, good. Can I get some water, please? Thank you. I'm getting a little harsh. Harsh. I don't practice it. I'm a little thirsty. Thank you, Queen. That's my queen over there. That's Juju Mama. She. Go ahead, Juju Mama. She Juju Mama. The African Juju Mama. That's it. Right there. And that's Heru. Nice. That's the nice artwork, right?
Yeah.
And it's so nice and colorful. I like colors and stuff because colors transmit psychic messages to us. They help. We can use colors for healing and stuff like that. That's why our ancestors were very colorful. They're very colorful. They use a lot of colors and stuff like that. This is all done for spiritual work. Even their jewelry and everything was all about healing. It's all about, it wasn't what we do today. You know, today we floss. Today we stunt. We front. But the ancestors used those things for healing and transmitting spiritual messages. So, you know, this battle between Set and Heru is actually the battle that is going on inside of us. You know, the Spirit of God that speaks to us, that tells us, man, don't do that and shit. You know better than that. But we do it anyway. So ignorance of one's divine self. When you're ignorant of yourself, then you have body consciousness. So that has become known as Set. That is the desert. Known as the desert, right? because he was the god of the desert. And the desert is the lower nature. Asia, right? The Asiatics, Asia, the Asia plane. You following me on that? And then this is your higher self. Your higher self is Heru, the hero. You are the hero. The sheroes and heroes. You see, when you are elevating yourself on a spiritual plane and you're living the concept of African spirituality and you're going inside of yourself and you're meditating and chanting and cutting through the fetters of the ego. The ego is an acronym for easing God out. Every time you are in your ego, you are easing God out of the equation. So we have to put God first in our lives. If you put God first in your life, and God does not have to be a supernatural being for you, it could just be good orderly direction. You can just use that concept. Whatever works for you. Because don't take my stuff. This is mine. It works for me. You got to do what works for you. I'm not telling you to come follow me. I don't want little Tahutis. And we come to the payoff. And my friends, this is the coming attraction. This is the movie that is going to be coming, because I'm going to be doing a part 2, and we're going to get into dealing with the white man and his biological origin. We're going to get into that, the scientific biological origin of the white man. So we're going to get into that. So this is the last slide that I have for you today, and this, I kind of took this off of Facebook. One of my friends had posted this, and I thought it was good, and I said I can use this in the lecture. I said, Europeans were by no means the pioneers in human civilization. Half of man's recorded history had passed before anyone in Europe could read or write. The priests of Egypt began to keep written records between 4000 and 3000 BC. While pharaohs were building first pyramids, Europeans were creating nothing more than distinguished than garbage heaps. They had lots of trash in the damn cave. Okay? So, but this is important. Look at these pictures, because this will break the myth. The white man over here is developing without high culture. This is high culture, spirituality, sedentary, stable living, running water, vegetation, savagery, raping their women, no love, the ice, raw meat, right? No vegetation. Whenever they got vegetation, it was a celebration. They would make a makeshift table, and they would put the vegetation on the table, and this is how we got the word vegetable. Vegetable. They would take the vegetation and put it on the table. It would become a celebration called vegetable. Because vegetables are needed to alkaline the blood, to alkaline the cells, repair the cells so that the oxygen can flow through the cell, so that the oxygen can activate the brain cells, so that the oxygen can activate the kundalini, rising up, flooding the chakras with light, causing that light within, giving us the understanding and the concept that we are the gods and goddesses on the planet Earth. The white man on this side eating raw meat, not having these concepts, and eating raw meat, calcified his pineal gland. He was already defected because he had mutated. And because of his mutation in the ice, he never developed. And so when he came out of the ice, now here's the part you gotta learn. He came out of the ice, a damn savage. We built pyramids, and we did all this great stuff. And he kicked our ass. And not only did he kick our ass, He is a world power today. Technology and everything you want to name. He's got big ships, airplanes, buildings, schools, universities, and all of these things. You got to give him a little bit of credit. Because a man that had no shoes on his feet, eating raw meat, having sex with men and animals and raping their women and children, no understanding of high culture and spirituality, not having the inner vision of the third eye to communicate with the immortals. This savage man rose to world power. Not only did he rose to world power, he is a minority on the planet. So is it something that you brag about? Oh, the goddamn white man's the devil, he's a savage, but goddamn it, he's ruling shit.
That's right.
You should feel ashamed of your goddamn selves.
All right.
What part did you play when the savage that had no shoes on his feet rose to world power? So this is a moment of inflection for us to realize who the hell we are, get with the program so we can take this kind of tyrant out and put him in check.
Bring it home. Bring it home.
We got to take him to court.
Bring it home. Bring it home.
And that is incumbent upon you. It's incumbent upon you to unify, but you got to first unify your spirit.
There you go.
The revolution got to start here, man.
Right. Inside.
The revolution got to start here.
Yep.
Okay? So I ain't going to tell you to stop listening to the guys and say kill the white man, because I guess they necessarily do, because sometimes they can get you amped up. But I want you to get amped up to do the work on yourself. I want you to be a better human being. I want you to treat your women and your children better.
That's right.
And if you can do that, then you have done something to affect white supremacy. And thank you, my friends, for bearing with me during this.